Hello and welcome. I'm John Tan. Welcome to Studio 3. Today we're going to be looking at getting sounds onto the SSL Duality from external computers and also from Pro Tools. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is look at how to get sounds from my laptop. I'm plugged in through the audio jack here, which is connected to the iPod jack over here. And I'm going to be playing something from Spotify. At the moment, I'm not hearing anything because I don't have the Duality set up. So let's go ahead and look at the Duality. So here we are at the Duality. We're going to look at our external sources. That's what we look at for external sources. So our computer is plugged into the iPod jack. We're going to look for that under the external B menu and hit iPod. That's already selected for me, which is awesome. If I wanted to listen to YouTube on the Mac or anything, I'm going to hit Mac, but for right now I'm just going to stay on iPod. Now, I have to select external B as my monitor source since this is an external B device. So here we are, external B, and now you can see my meters are showing my Spotify. So we don't hear it now because our level is off. Let's turn up our level. And we have some good old rock and roll music. Great, now that we're hearing music, I'm hearing them on the mains. Maybe I want to switch it to the NS10s. Let's take a look at the loudspeaker select module. So we go into here, and we see that nothing's actually selected in the loudspeaker select module. That means that things will be playing through our main soffit-mounted ATCs, which sound great. And now I want to hear my NS10s. They're hooked up to Mini A in Studio 3. So if I press that, now we have the glorious sound fidelity of the Yamaha NS10s. So good. Great. Now that we understand that, let's take a look at Pro Tools. One thing that is very, very important when listening back from Pro Tools and using this console in any sort of analog mode is this focus button here. This button puts this console in analog mode when it's lit up blue, or control surface mode when it's lit up or when it's not lit up at all. So for our purposes, we want to make sure this is blue and lit up and in analog mode. So here I am now sitting at the Pro Tools desk, glorious Pro Tools desk, and I'm going to be playing a board mix from one of my recording sessions recently. So I'm going to route this to faders 23 and 24. And if your I/O menu doesn't look anything like this, say if there's a A1 through 16 or a B1 through 16, which happens sometimes, go to Setup, I/O, hit Apply to All Tabs, then hit Import Settings, and then we have Studio 3 Stereo Settings. Make sure you hit Yes to delete all unused buses, and then you apply that. Hit OK. Great, so this is outputting to 23 and 24 now. Which means it will come up on channels 23 and 24 on the SSL. Now, in order to monitor my Pro Tools out, I'm going to have to make sure that these two channels are in monitor mode rather than channel mode, or monitor path rather than channel path. You can see on the screen that it's indicated in channel path right now. So, what I'm going to do to change this is I'm going to go into something called select mode on the SSL, where I hit the plus and minus buttons at the same time. That lights up, and you can see 24 is selected, but I want to select 23 and 24. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select channel 23 first. You see that's highlighted, then hit 2, 24, and that sequentially selects the next channel. So now that I have 23 and 24 up and selected, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn them into monitor path instead of channel path. So I'm going to go over here to my channel ends, and instead of mic, I'm going to hit line. Line is for monitor path, and mic is for channel path. Now you can see 23 and 24 are up on monitor path. Great. So now I'm going to raise my faders to 0. Here we go. And then pan, 23 left, 24 right. Next thing is that they have to hit the mix bus. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep these highlighted. Again, to do that, I go into select mode by hitting plus and minus. It's on 24 right now, so I'm going to select 23 and hit 2 to sequentially select, or I could clear this and just hit select and select 23 and 24. Now I'm going to hit mix A here, and what that does is it assigns 23 and 24 to the mix A mix bus. Great. Now that it's going to the mix A mix bus, let's raise the fader for mix A. The way we do that is we go to this routing matrix, mix A, mix B, mix C. So what I'm going to do is hold down the button for mix A, and then hit the button next to fader for mix A. And that's highlighted now, fader for mix A. What that does is that it shows the master fader as the master fader for mix A. So if I raise this to 0, since this is passive, I can see that if I go into the mix B master fader, like so, this goes down because I haven't set the fader for mix B yet. I've only set it for mix A. Let's go back to mix A. That's back up. Great. So now that 23 and 24 are going to mix A, we have to monitor mix A through the monitor source menu. So let's change that from external B to mix A. And if I hit play, look at that. I'm getting sound. Another way to do this is to monitor the stereo mix. And there's a reason why you would maybe want to monitor the stereo mix instead of mix A. The stereo mix can combine mix A, mix B, and mix C together through the stereo mix master here. Here I have the level at 0. There's a notch right here telling me that's 0. And if I don't have anything selected, then I'm just monitoring mix A. Or I could select mix A and I'll monitor mix A that way. And then combine that with mix C or mix B. That might be useful, for instance, for recording board mixes only from mix A and assigning maybe talkbacks and click to mix B. And now you can see, if I hit play, I'm monitoring my stereo mix and I'm getting sound. Great, now that we know how to get sounds from external sources like our Mac or our laptop and Pro Tools, we can move on to some big boy stuff.